Welcome. As women in business, we're so busy being busy. We're juggling life and business, and we're in the hustle. And that's when we lose sight of who we really are. This podcast is here to inspire and empower you to unleash you, the one that's been hiding behind all the roles that you play. Weekly episodes will help you to find fun, energy, and flow in life, and also give you tips and tools so you can have a successful yet simple business. My guests and myself talk all things mindset, spirituality, relationships, and of course business. Live the life that you've been dreaming of. Now, let's get to the good part. Welcome to this week's episode of the Sharon podcast. Today's episode is 7 simple ways to be happier. Now, when we think of talking about happiness, we say, we just want to be happy. We want our kids to be happy. We want our friends to be happy. But let's put that in a more simple way. What can we do every day that's simple that can make us happy? And I'm not talking about things like when we talk about happiness, we say, get the dream car that's going to make us happy. Tick. Get the dream house that's going to make us happy. Tick. Get the dream job that's going to make us happy. Tick. Land that dream client that's going to make us happy. Tick. We're not talking about things that we're going to tick off a list. We're talking about long-term happiness, consistent happiness, simple things that we can do every day to bring happiness every day, because you don't buy a car every day. You don't buy a house every day. You don't land a dream client every day. You don't land a dream job every day. So yes, they're milestones. They're things that make us happy, but they're not something that we can experience every day. And what we need to do is experience happiness every single day. So here are 7 simple ways to be happier. Number 1, have a look at the people in your network, whether they be friends or work. Think about who makes you happy. It could be energy they bring. It could be because they're funny. It could be just because they really get you. In your circles, so in your private life and in your work life, who makes you happy? Because we spend a lot of time at work and we also need to balance that out in our private life. So I want you to sit there and think about, in your work life, who makes you happy? And in your private life, who makes you happy? Who brings that happiness in? And I want you to think about how often you actually interact with them. So whether it's in person, on the phone, via text messages, whether you're, sending Snapchats every day and keeping up with your streaks. So think about how much time you actually spend with those people that make you happy. Because if you're not spending much time with them, then why? Because you've just said that those people make you happy for whatever reason. So why wouldn't you want to spend more time with them? So now think about when you could spend time with them and actually make that happen. So whether you set up a regular catch-up, whether you pop it in your diary to follow them up or catch up, do that so that you can spend more time with the people that actually make you happy. That's number 1. Number 2, skip eating lunch at your desk. I want you to go and interact with people at lunchtime. Grab a colleague that you enjoy their company. Go and sit with them and have lunch. Ask them about what they did on the weekend. Ask them what they're doing this weekend. Ask them what they're cooking for dinner. Ask them what they like to do on the weekend. Do something rather than scrolling Instagram in your lunch break or catching up on emails in your lunch break. You really need to have that mindset break, because if you sit at your desk and eat your lunch and continue to work, or you go and sit away from your desk and continue to scroll or do work, you don't have that break. You don't have that mental break. You'll find that you'll get tired in the afternoon and you go back after your lunch break and you're going to sit at 50% capacity rather than coming back to a full 100% capacity after eating, after having that break. If you don't have anyone at work that you can sit there and engage in a meaningful conversation and chill with, well, who could you call and have a chat with? Surely there's got to be someone that you can call and say, hey, what did you get up to on the weekend? Or what are you cooking for dinner tonight? What are your travel plans for this year? What trips are you doing? just getting some kind of other engagement going that's not your phone or your computer at your desk. Just really building those relationships as well. That is also going to make you happy. So, my son, when he goes away, when he's doing, 5 hours or 8 hours of driving on the way back, instead of just sitting there listening to the radio, he'll call people and go, oh, hey, how you going? What have you been up to? What are your plans? Like he'll call my mum and he'll call me and we get to catch up. It's the same as me. When I'm driving between Brisbane and Gold Coast, I'll call people. Or at lunchtime, I'll call my mum to see what she's up to. We're getting the break. We're getting that human interaction and we're building relationships. That's going to make us happy. That's number 2. Number 3, we need to set boundaries. Leave work at work. So if you finish at 5 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever time you finish work, switch off your computer, turn off your notifications on your phone, and switch off for the day. Whether you work for someone else or you have your own business, you do need to switch off. Okay, you might have a little hour of power later on at night where you need to do some tasks because you might have a business that's global and you might need to do that with time zones. Or you could have a team that works across different time zones. So you may need to switch on again later on. But you do need to switch off for at least a couple of hours after you finish work. So whether you finish at, as I said, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you need some downtime. You need to recharge your batteries to reset your mindset. In saying that, what can you do to recharge? So can you go for a little walk? Can you go to the gym? Can you go to the shops and get some fresh produce and cook a beautiful meal? If you're doing things like that, then you're not checking your emails. And if people are ringing you and they actually don't need to talk to you, they can wait till tomorrow morning. Let them wait till tomorrow morning. Or have that thing on your phone where it sends through an automated text saying, I'm not available right now, but I'll get back to you first thing in the morning. Make sure that after work, we're getting that break. And this also plays into the weekend. So on the weekends, it's so tempting to take that call from a customer or to check that email or send that email. Make sure that we're not working all weekend. Yes, some businesses require us to do a bit of work on the weekend, but do not spend all weekend working. Make sure you have time for you, time for your family, time for your friends. Make sure that we're not tied to our business or to our job. That is number 3. Number 4, this is about building a relationship, but also just to get some consistency. It could be going to the same coffee shop every day. So in the morning, you might be on your way to work, or you might go for a walk in the morning and you grab a coffee. Go to the same place every day. How great would it be if you rocked up and that person knew your coffee order? Oh, hey, Sharon, yep, you have a soy latte, it'll be right up. How great is that person gets so excited that you're going to come in to order your coffee and they're going to engage with you. They're going to see your smiling face every day. They're going to get that familiarity that you're going to come in and engage with them. Or it could be that, every Saturday you go and buy a acai bowl from the same place and that's your thing to do. It could be that you go to the local newsagents and buy the paper every day. Just to bring that routine in where we're getting the presence of someone. And it doesn't have to be, like, as I said, it's just a small engagement. It's just a small interaction that enriches you and also them. So you're getting your coffee or your acai bowl, your paper or whatever it is. You're supporting a local business. And they get joy out of seeing you come in every day. And you get joy knowing that when you go there, they know that you buy the paper every day, or they know that you buy that acai bowl every day, or they know your coffee order. That will make you happy and them happy, that reciprocal happiness. That is number 4. Number 5, stop lurking on social media. Now, it is great to keep in touch with people on social media. It's great to find out what the latest trends are. It's great to find out what people are doing, what competitors are doing. It's great to research if you're trying to, decorate a house, or you want to know what the best recipe for this is, or you want to know what kind of exercise to do. It's some great things for social media. But go on, do what you need to do and get off. So if you go onto Instagram to find some inspiration for your bedroom that you want to make over, set a time limit. Okay, I'm going to go on for 10 minutes and get some inspo, and I'm going to save a few posts. Don't spend 2 and 3 hours scrolling through bedroom makeovers to find some inspiration. That's what lurking on social media does. It doesn't make you happy by lurking on social media. You need to go on, get the inspo, and come off. The other thing about social media too is by lurking is that if you're going on and following your friends and seeing what they're doing, lurking around, how about you actually pick up the phone and go, hey, what did you get up to on the weekend? Yes, I know you can go onto Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and see what they did. But how about actually picking up the phone and saying, how was your weekend? What did you do? You're going to get a lot more insight. You're going to feel the emotion. You're going to deepen that relationship by actually picking up the phone and having the conversation and interacting with them to find out what they did. Yes, you can see a picture of them at the beach. But when you call them, you can find out so much more about the beach and what they did and who they went with. It's such a deeper connection, and it would make you so much happy. It'll also make them happy. Instead of someone just tapping on their photo saying, oh, I like that beach photo, or oh, the beach looks amazing, someone actually ringing them up and going, oh, wow, so you went to the beach. How was it? How was the weather? You know, engaging in a deeper conversation, forging that deeper connection. That's number 5. Stop lurking on social media and set some time limits. As I said, don't be going on there for hours and hours and scrolling. Set a time limit that I'm only going to go on there for half an hour and stick with that. Number 6, swap your WhatsApp or your text messages or your Snap messages for a quick phone call. We all get so lazy now, and we find that we want to ask someone something. We send 10 different messages. We send a message, they send a message. We send a message, they send a message. You could have actually quickly picked up the phone and maybe spent a minute and found out the answer so much quicker. We think that we can just send a quick text, but sometimes by the time we go backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, and sometimes we lose the context, so then we have to send another text to explain ourselves. It can actually take longer. We are so used to getting emails and texts. We actually don't get that many phone calls anymore. Well, we get the annoying ones saying that it's the ATO, or saying that we've got a long lost relative that's left us money, or that we haven't paid some bill, or the scam calls. We get them, but how many real calls do you actually get? If my phone rings and it's actually a friend or a family member actually wanting to engage in conversation, it's like, oh, you're so excited. Because half the time we're just lazy, we send texts, we send emails. And sometimes I know that I can send an email and we'll go back and forwards. And I think that could have been a quick 30-second conversation and so much quicker. So just really think about that, because are you happy to send messages backwards and forwards? Or would you be happier to quickly get that solved by a phone call? It's so much more fun talking to someone on a phone than sending messages backwards and forwards. That will also communicating to real people in real ways, like on the phone, is so much more happier than backwards and forwards in text. I mean, I know, yes, emojis are fun, gifs are fun, but it's also good just to actually hear someone's voice. That makes me happy. I love, my mum can send some amazing emojis and some gifs, but hearing her voice on the phone, I can't hear how she actually feels through an emoji. And she might send a smiley face saying, yes, I'm happy. And you talk to her, but then you realize that she's not. Or the same with a friend or a customer. They might, put over there, they're happy. And then when you're actually talking to them, you can see that they're not. So that is also something that's going to make you happier and them. So engage in conversation on the phone, pick up the phone. Number 7. Now I do this, there's 2 parts to this. It's about having one-on-one time, so dinner or lunch with a friend or family member. I regularly have date nights with my husband. I actually haven't done it for a little while at the moment, because every night's date night at the moment, because we're sort of split between Brisbane and Gold Coast. But we always had our date nights on a Friday. It was time for us to spend one-on-one time together, away from the kids, away from work, just to really chill, talk about anything, talk about our goals, talk about, where we went to holiday, what was happening, just to be adults and just chill. And so we do that regularly. And then another thing, I've got some friends where we just, every couple of months we catch up and we have dinner. And it is just so good to have that one-on-one time with the friend. Yes, okay, we might catch up in groups, but it is really good to have that really one-on-one time where we can delve deeper into what the other person's doing and what their kids are doing and how work's going and how they actually are. Because when you're in a group, it's sort of quite hard to really sit down and talk to someone in a really meaningful conversation a lot of the time because it's always so busy with everyone. And just to connect on that deeper level, it makes me so happy when my friend messages me going, hey, when are we going to go out for dinner? And sometimes it's hard because you go backwards and forwards because you're trying to align your calendars. And then like on the day you think, oh, it's just so hard. Like I've just got so much on. And you get there and you go, I'm so glad we caught up. We have so much fun. We have laughs. We just get to say anything we want and we just feel so comfortable and we just, we listen to each other. We're there to give advice and support and it just makes me happy. And it makes my friend happy. When my husband and I have our date night, it makes us happy. So number 7 is around just having that one-on-one time with the close friend or your partner. It's just, even though, you think, oh, I'm going to catch up with them, actually do it, make it happen. Make it a regular thing, once a month, once a quarter, once a week. Just, and you know what, I've got a friend where we live in different states, so we can't always catch up, in person. So we put a Zoom call in our calendar, we both get a drink and we sit there and we just chat. Our last one went for like 2 hours. And it was just like we were catching up in person. And last month we actually did get to catch up in person. So usually we do have our sessions online, or not sessions, our catch-ups online. And we got to catch up in person. And it was so much more exciting. We had so much more fun. And we just felt so happy when we actually got to catch up in person. So yes, we're happy when we catch up online, but catching up in person, again, it's that personal connection that, you send a message or you send an email or you send a GIF or a Snapchat or whatever. But there's a lot deeper level of happiness, longer lasting happiness when you actually catch up with someone, talking as a voice on the phone or catching up in person. So that is my 7 simple ways to be happier. I would love to know if you have implemented any of these, or if you know someone that really needs some happiness or that can implement any of these, please share this episode with them and just try and do these 7 steps for a week or a month. Consciously think about each of the 7 steps and how you can integrate that into your daily life, and try and take a journal or even a notepad and just talk about the different steps that you've implemented, what you did and how you felt after. And if, you caught up with someone for lunch or you called someone instead of texting them, did you get any feedback from them? Like, could you sense the happiness with them? Could you sense a very different level of depth of relationship with them by calling them rather than texting them? And if you had, dinner with friends, let me know. I would love to hear. Did you have lots of fun? Did it make you happy? So try this out for, a week, a month. And once you start to consciously think about being happier and taking these 7 actions to actually make the happiness happen every day, it will then just become second nature where, okay, yes, you still need to text someone or email someone. There are certain things that can just be done over a text or an email, but I do encourage you when you can, call people. Or, we're so lazy where we get to the point where, my daughter's upstairs and I'm downstairs and I'll text her rather than running upstairs and talking to her. So now I won't text. I'll run upstairs and talk to her, because then I can also annoy her at the same time. So, but it makes us happy. So that is my 7 simple ways to be happier. Until next time, that's all.
Before you press stop, thanks for listening to today's episode. And if you enjoyed this episode, do the 3 S's. Subscribe so you never miss an episode each Thursday. Shout out to your community so they can be inspired and empowered. And share. Share with me your aha moments and your takeaways. By doing this, it helps this podcast to inspire and impact more women globally so they can have a fulfilling life and business. I would love for you to connect with me on Instagram, the Sharon Cliff. And if you want to know more about me or how you can work with me, head to my website, sharoncliff.com. voxer.com.au. See you next time.